Hey guys, it's your girl Angie. I'm back with another video. In this video, I'll be answering a question that I've been frequently asked. How do I survive living in New York City as a Christian? It's gonna be a quite interesting video, also straightforward. So the first thing I would like you to do is to like the video, subscribe to our channel, comment below, and also click that notification bell, because honey, if you don't click on that bell, you won't be alert when we post video, and I don't want you to be missing out on any videos. You can't miss out on any of our videos, come on. So let's go straight to the video, but don't forget to subscribe, all right? The question that I've been frequently asked: how do I survive living in New York City as a Christian? And if I should be honest with you, whenever I'm asked that question, I am offended by it, because what do you mean? How do I survive living in New York City as a Christian? The same way I survive in Jamaica, the same way I survive living in New York. And the reason for me to feel some type of way, because I know who I am. And New York City is known to be Sin City, especially back home in Jamaica. Once they hear that you're going to New York City, the first thing they look for you to do is to change. To start wearing hair, to start wearing makeup, to start wearing pants, to start doing these things that you didn't used to do, or things that they think you didn't used to do back home. They right away write you off that you're no longer a Christian since once you're coming in New York City. And I find that to be ignorant and very rude and very disrespectful. And I've been frequently asked, how do you survive living in New York City? The same way I survived living in Jamaica, the same way I survive living in New York. A city that never sleeps, so there's always something in New York City to do. And one thing about New York City is that you can get lonely, okay? And I feel that's where people, fall into the temptation of the attractions of New York City, because it never sleeps. You can be in the city at 3 a.m. and there are a lot of people in Manhattan still walking up and down, still doing this, still doing that. This city never sleeps. So I get where the question is coming from. I totally get it. But once you have a relationship with God, once you have a bond with God, you will be tempted, but you won't fall into it, because God is going to tell you, listen, rise up, wake up, see what I'm showing you. This is a distraction. Don't subdue to it. Don't bob down to it. Get up. Once you have that relationship with God. And I thank God that I have that relationship with God. And based on the foundation that I have and based on my faith, I am still standing. I am still surviving in New York City. And while there might be a bar or there's a club that's on every block, there's also churches on every block. So I survive in New York City by having a relationship with God in prayer. Whenever I feel lonely, whenever I feel like there's no one there to encourage me, there's no one there to uplift me, there's no one there to be a listening ear to me, I pray to God. I pray to God and He answered me. I pray to God and He sent strength. I pray to God and He sent help. That's how I survive in New York City. Prayer and fasting. A lot of times we say this as a cliche, but prayer and fasting do work. And also I do pray to God and say, God, listen, send me some kingdom-minded people. Send me some people who are destined for destiny, who want to pursue their purpose, who want to fulfill their purpose. And God have sent me those people. And even when I feel like they're far away from me, God Himself will send a word to encourage me. And I also indulge myself in church activities. I sing on the choir. I participate in the youth department. I do this, I do that. I also volunteer at a mentorship program. So I am constantly busy, constantly on the go. So there's really no time for me to actually give into the attraction of New York City. While I'm not gonna say I'm a perfect person. There are temptation comes. I'm telling you, temptation comes, especially with the fashion. Cause y'all know your girl love a little fashion here and then. Your girl love a little heels there and then. So the distraction come with fashion and with other stuff. But at the end of the day, I know who I am, and I won't put myself in a position where I'm gonna get caught up into the nest of the enemy. And I think that's where a lot of us get messed up. because we see ourselves as this strong person. So I know if I hang out with this guy, I'm strong enough that it's not going to lead anywhere. So you start hanging out with this guy a couple of times and seeing that is not going anywhere for marriage. You know, it's just a friendship or it's just a relationship that you're in and it's okay. And then, you know, it start leading to, you know, invite to his house, and then to his house it leads to touching, then it leads to kissing, then it leads to sex. Angelica, would not put herself in that position because I don't trust myself. And I'm not saying that I can control myself. Of course I can control myself, but because I know who I am and because I know the tricks of the enemy, it started with just one step. The enemy will put a guy or somebody in your life to distract you, but because you're so caught up in the moment, you're not able to see. And then that one step leads to a second step. So y'all getting to know each other, going out every time, mid of the night. Then the third step, invite to the house. Then the fourth step, start kissing and touching. It may not happen in one night, but eventually, if you don't catch on to the tricks of the enemy, you get caught up into his nets. And because I know who I am, and because of the connection and the relationship with God, I will not put myself in that position to be caught in the nets of the enemy. And also, if I realize that I'm around a type of people or a group of people, and I know if I'm with them and I hang out with them, I'm gonna start drinking, I'm gonna start dancing, I'm gonna start smoking, I'm gonna do this, then right away, I know that that group or that type of people is not for me. So I will not be hanging out with them. They might not be friends, but they might be associates. I'm going to still speak to them, but I'm not going to be hanging out with them because I know the influence that they may have on my spiritual life. So living in New York City, you can't be blind to these things. You cannot be blind. So it's good to have a good support system around you. It's good to have at least one person, you know, of accountability, someone that you can account on and they can also account on you. Someone who can let you know, Angelica, what you're doing is wrong, and I'm afraid that if you continue to go on this path or on this road, it's going to lead you to destruction. You need at least that one person in your life. Okay, you need at least that one person to pray for you, to encourage you, to uplift you when you're low in the spirit, just to be there for you. So once you have that accountability, you know, that support system, that prayer life, that, you know, indulge in church activities, you can survive in New York City. If I'm surviving in New York City so far, you can as well. And I want to encourage you, if you're living in New York City or you want to migrate to New York City, be encouraged. There's nothing to be afraid about. It's about your spiritual life. It's about the heart. Has nothing to do with traditional. So do not be ignorant and do not subdue to the devices of the enemy. Be blessed. Be encouraged. Love you all. Bye. Oh, don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Press that notification bell. Like and subscribe. All right. See y'all. Come back with another video. Bye.